Classes continue your discussion on derivatives. So we're done with forward. Classes continue your discussion on derivatives. So we're done with forwards and futures. Let's now go to options. Okay, options. So rewrite muna natin class yun. No? So for options, we have two types. We have call option and put option. Okay, call option is an option to buy, and put option naman class is an option to sell. Ayan. Option to buy and option to sell. Now, ang advantage ng option is, well, option na lang yan. Pwede mong hindi i-exercise yung option mo. Unlike sa forwards and futures, no matter what happens, kahit unfavorable na yung situation, since obligation yan, kailangan mo pa rin mag-buy or sell. Okay? In exchange, magbabayad ka, tinatawag natin na option premium. So, kaya sa day 1 pa lang, meron kang journal entry. Alright? Now, class, so like what I mentioned, derivatives are measured at FBPL. Since day 1 pa lang, meron ng measurement, or may amount na yung option, how much natin siya measure? At fair value. Okay? Yung fair value of an option, remember this class, may dalawang components. Okay? We have the intrinsic value, IV na lang intrinsic value plus time value. Okay? Very important. The fair value of an option is composed of two. Intrinsic value plus time value. Sir, ano ibig sabihin ng intrinsic value? Actually, class, merong computation yan. Intrinsic value, okay, if it's a call option, ang formula natin class is spot price minus exercise price. Okay? Tawag natin dyan, exercise price, or ibang term din dyan is strike price. Okay? Exercise price or strike price. Basically, yung exercise price, yun yung fixed price. Okay? Tignan dito. Fixed price. Okay? And if it's a put option naman class, opposite lang yan. Kasi to buy, to sell, intrinsic value naman ng put option is X minus S. Okay? So in short, the value, yung intrinsic value natin will depend, okay, on the spot price. Tama ba yung class? Kasi yung X natin, strike price, fixed na. Okay? So yung intrinsic value, nagbabago-bago yan. Depende sa spot price natin. Alright? Yung time value naman class, okay, is basically your balancing figure. Okay? So it means fair value minus intrinsic value, yun yung time value natin. Okay? And remember, yung time value is always decreasing. Okay? Always decreasing. Kasi class, let's say ito yung transaction natin. This is November 1, this is December 31, and this is January 31. Ito yung i-exercise mo yung option. Okay? Habang papalapit sa January 1, okay, bumababa yung time value natin. Okay? Yung time value is basically always decreasing. Okay? Therefore, wala tayong control sa time value. Laging pababa yan. Hindi yan tumataas. Unlike intrinsic value, pwedeng tumaas, pwede bumaba. Kasi depende yan sa spot price. Okay? Ang tawag natin dito, class, is effective portion. Pag intrinsic value, effective portion yan. Pag time value, ineffective. Bakit sir tinawag na ineffective? Kasi it's always decreasing. Okay? Ineffective yan. Alright? Wala tayong control dyan. Now, balik tayo dito. Okay? Mga terms. Other terms na kailangan malaman. If the spot price is greater than strike price, okay? Ang term na ginagamit dito, class, is in the money. Okay? In the money. Ayan. Para kang familiar kayo sa mga terms. If the spot price is equal to exercise price, ang tawag dito, at the money. At the money. And if spot price is less than strike price, out of the money. Okay? So, ang gagawin ko dyan, class, if may option to buy ako, kapag in the money, saka ako i-exercise. Okay? Pag at the money, indifferent ako dyan. Pag out of the money, hindi ko yan i-exercise kasi lugi ako. Okay? Kasi class, isipin mo di ba, ito yung babayaran mo. Okay? So, let's say, spot mo is greater than your strike. Let's say this is 12. Okay, spot price. Strike natin is 10. In the money, i-exercise ko yan kasi mas mura yung babayaran ko. 10 lang. On the other hand, pag naman sa baba, let's say 8 to, ito naman 10, hindi ko i-exercise kasi bibilin ko na lang siya at spot price, mas mura pa. Tawag doon is out of the money. Pag equal sila, parehong 10, indifferent. Pwede mo i-exercise, pwede hindi. Okay? Opposite naman yung class kapag put option. Right? Ladies ko na ito. Pag put option naman class, ganito naman yan. If the strike price is less than the exercise price, kasi opposite to yan. Yun yung in the money natin. Okay? Pag spot price is equal to strike price at the money, ibig sabihin, indifferent yan. Pag naman spot price is greater than strike price, out of the money. Okay? So, opposite naman yung explanation natin dyan. So, ito, exercise mo. Indifferent ka dyan. Ito, huwag mo i-exercise. Okay? Sige. Okay, so, given that, let's go to our problems. Let's go to problem number 5. Actually, mas madali yung options, no? Compared sa forwards and futures. So, I'll show you. Problem number 5. On October 1, 2020, Abigail Company took delivery from Thailand. Took delivery, tama? Ibig sabihin si Abigail is the buyer. Okay? firm of inventory costing 1,140,000 baht. Payment is due on January 30, 2021. So, ganito nangyari dyan, class. So, October 1, December 31, and yung bayaran daw is January 30. Ayan. Concurrently, it paid 15,700 cash to acquire an at-the-money call option. Yung 15,700, ang tawag natin dyan is option premium. Ayun, may babayaran ka sa start bago ka mag-enter ng option. 15,700. Lagay mo dyan, option premium. To acquire at-the-money call option. Pag sabi mong at-the-money, spot price is equal to strike price. Tandaan mo, class, at inception, day 1, usually at the money yan. Okay? At the money. Ibig sabihin, spot price is equal to strike price. For 1,140,000 baht, the strike price is 12.4. Strike price or yung X natin is 12.4. Okay, so meron tayong market price. Yung market price, basically, iyan yung spot price natin, yung S. Tandaan mo, market price is the spot price. Fair value of the call option is this one. Meron tayong October 1, December 31, and January 30. Okay, sir, paano gagawin mo dyan? Ganito gagawin ko dyan, class. Pag option yung problem, gagamit ka ng table, okay? Ganito gagawin ko dyan. Intrinsic value plus time value is equal to fair value. Yan muna mong gagawin. And then, lagay natin yung mga dates. October 1, okay, December 31, and January 30. Ayan. October 1, December 31, January 30. Now, given yung fair value sa problem, tama? Actually, yung fair value sa problem, doon muna sa October 1. Kung magkano yung binayad mo, okay? Iyon yung fair value mo sa start. Tama ba? 15.7 yan? Okay, 15.7. Okay? Now, sabi ko, class, yung sa start, at the money yan. At the money. Ibig sabihin, S is equal to X. Paano ka ba, class, mag-compute ng intrinsic value sa call option? Call option ba to? Ayan, yes, call option. Intrinsic value natin is S minus X. Nalagay ko dito, ha? Intrinsic value is S minus X. Tama ba? If S is equal to X, yung difference yan is 0. Therefore, intrinsic value at the start is always 0. Tandaan mo yun. Intrinsic value at the start is always 0 because at the money yan. Okay? Therefore, time value mo is 15.7. Okay? Next. Complete mo natin yung table. Yan yung first step mo sa option. Tama ba may 28.2 fair value sa given? December 31. Lagay ko lang dito yan. 28.2. Sa January 30, meron tayong 30,780. Pwede na tayo mag-compute ng intrinsic value ngayon. And then, balancing figure natin is the time value. Okay? So, sabayan nyo ako mag-compute. S. Ano yung S natin? December 31, 12.423. Okay? Minus X. Ano yung X natin? Strike price, 12.4. Nakita mo yan? 12.423 minus 12.4. Multiply ko sa 1,140,000. Actually, yung 1,140,000, ang term na ginagamit yung class is notional amount. FYI lang, notional amount. Basically, ito yung principal mo. Okay? Notional. Ulitin natin. 12.423 minus X, 12.4. Multiply natin by 1,140,000. Nakuha mo yung 26,220. Okay, intrinsic value yan. 26,220. Again, balancing figure yung time value. So, difference yan, 28,200 minus 26,220, 1,980. Yun yung time value natin. Okay? Ngayon, compute natin yung sa January 30. S, 12.427 minus X, 12.4 times 1,140,000, you should get 30,780. 30,780, which is equal to the fair value. Tama? Therefore, difference nila, 0 yung time value. Plus, graph ko kanina yung time value. Sabi ko, pag ganun siya. Tama? Sa date of settlement, this is, anong date to? January 30, 0 lagi yung time value mo. Okay? Always decreasing. Nakita mo ba? 15.7, naging 1,980, naging 0. Sabi ko, always decreasing yung time value. Okay? Therefore, yung intrinsic value mo is 0 sa start. Time value mo naman is 0 sa end. Remember that. Okay? Now, yun yung sa option natin. And tama ba, class, dito si Abigail Company is the buyer. Okay? Ito yung hedging instrument natin. Okay? Yung option. Yung hedged item natin is the accounts payable. Alright? So, tingnan natin, class, ha? Ganito gagawin ko dyan. So, normal lang. Normal AP lang. Spot rate kasi hedged item, eh. Tama ba? Spot rate natin is 12.4 sa October 1. So, 1,140,000 times 12.4. Nakuha mo ba yung 14,136,000? So, debit inventory, credit accounts payable, 14,136,000. Got it? Okay. Actually, pakita ko na rin yung journal entry para masaya. Okay? So, dito tayo sa... Ito muna, para mas malinaw. Journal entry number 1. So, dapat side by side sana. Okay? Side by side, gawin ko ganito, class. Para mas organized tayo. Lipat ko to. No? Ilipat ko yung accounts payable dito. Pagkasyahin ko dyan. Okay, na-compute ko earlier is 14,136,000. Ngayon, class, pakita ko na yung journal entries para malinaw tayo. Ito yung item natin or the accounts payable. Ito yung instrument natin or the option. Right? And then yung first date natin is November 1. October 1. 10-1. Okay, doon muna tayo sa accounts payable. Sa hedge item, debit inventory, bumili tayo. Tama? Credit accounts payable, 14,136,000. Now, dito class, sa instrument, meron tayong entry kasi nagbayad tayo nito. Kaya may day 1 entry tayo. Debit, lagay natin call option. Debit call option. Credit cash, 15,700. Yan, yun yung entry natin. December 31, yan natin class ha. Accounts payable natin is, i-remeasure natin. Spot rate ng December 31 is 12.423. 1140,000 times 12.423. You should get 14,162,220. 14,162,220. Okay, tumaas na. Solve for X minus 14,136,000. 26,220. Okay, 26,220. So class, tumaas yung accounts payable natin. Tama ba? Tumaas yung accounts payable. Tumaas ba? 14,136. Okay, 1,000. Tapos naging 14,162,20. Okay, so tumaas siya. So loss yan. Tama ba? So meron tayong loss. Tama, loss to. Okay. And then, let's see Okay. So, tingnan natin. Doon tayo sa settlement date. Okay. January 30. 12.427 times 1140,000 baht. 14,166. 780. Okay, 14,166, 780. Uy, tumaas na naman. So, loss yan kasi accounts payable. Minus 14,162, 220, 4,560. Okay? You have 4,560 loss. Alright? 4,560 loss. Okay, so, dito tayo. Entry natin. Debit Forex loss. Credit AP. 26,200. And then, January 30. Debit Forex loss. Credit AP, 4,560. Okay. Ayan siya. Doon naman tayo sa call option. So class, magre-refer na tayo sa table natin. Ganito lang siya. Madali lang yan actually. 15,700 naging 28,200. Ang comparison mo yung fair value. Kasi parang isipin mo para siyang FVPL lang. Nagma-mark to market ka. 15,700, tumaas siya, gain yun. Ganun lang yun. So 28,200, difference nila, minus 15,700, tumaas ka, so may gain ka. Pag bumaba, loss. Ganun lang. 12,500. So, entry mo dito, debit call option, credit gain on call option, okay, 12,500. Ulitin ko, 15,700, naging 28,200, nag-increase ng 12,500, meron kang gain. Okay? January 30, 28,200, naging 30,780, tumaas, meron kang gain. Ganun lang. Okay? 20, kaya sabi ko, mas madali yung option kaysa forwards. 28,200 minus 30,780, you get 2,580. Debit call option, credit gain, answer natin is 2,580. Ayan. Ganyan na siya. Let's go to question number 1. The gain or loss on hedging instrument due to change in the ineffective portion. Okay, on December 31, 2020. Class, tandaan mo, pag ineffective portion, ang pinag-uusapan natin is the time value. Ineffective. Okay? Therefore, ang gagawin natin dyan, December 30, 2020, tama? From 15,700, naging 1,980. Okay? So, saan ko isosolve yan? Dito na lang. Question number 1. U1, time value, tama? 15,700, naging 1,980. Tama ba class? Bumaba? Ibig sabihin may loss ka. Ganoon lang yan. Pag may bumaba, loss. 15,700 minus 1,980, you have 13,720. Answer natin class, 13,720, loss letter D or dog. Okay, refer ka lang sa table. Question number 2, gain or loss on hedging instrument due to change in the effective portion. Pag effective, intrinsic value. Okay? 15,700, naging 19, time value yan. Ano yung date na hinahanap? 2021, tama? So, ang comparison mo, ito. Okay? So, from 26,220, tumaas siya, naging 30,780. Pag tumaas, may gain ka. Difference nila is 30,780 minus 26,220, 4,560. Answer, 4,560 gain, letter boy. Question number 3. The December 31, 2020 gain or loss in the hedging activity. Pag sinabing hedging activity, pagsasamahin mo na yung item and then yung instrument. Anong tanong dyan, class? 2020. Okay, so may loss ka. Sa item, 26,200, meron kang gain na 12,500. Okay, so tingnan natin. May loss ka sa item, 26,200. Okay, and then, tama, 26,200 or 26,220? 26, double check lang natin class ha. 14,136,000. 14,136,000 minus 14,162,220. 26220 to. It should be 220. 220. Okay. 26,220, loss natin sa item. Sa instrument, may gain tayo na 12,500. Alright? So, ibig sabihin, mas mataas yung loss natin ng 26,220 minus 12,500. Meron tayong loss na 13,720. Letter A, 13,720, loss. Okay, simple lang, sir. Question number 4, the gain or loss on hedging instrument in 2020 if changes in the time value will be included from assessment of hedge effectiveness. Ganito yung class. By default, yung time value natin, ineffective portion lagi yan. Okay? Tandaan mo yun. Kasi wala tayong control dyan, laging decreasing yan. Sabi dito, what if daw, sa question number 4, the changes in the time value will be included from the assessment of hedge effectiveness. Ang ibig sabihin yan, what if daw, yung time value mo, effective portion din. Okay? Ibig sabihin, both the intrinsic and time value, effective. Okay? Lagay ko dito, question 4. Paano mangyayari dyan? Well, ganito lang yan. Hedging instrument, ibig sabihin, parehong effective yan, ay co-compare mo na dyan, 2021, 28.2 naging 30,780. Yun lang. 28.2 naging 30,780. Therefore, nag-increase, okay? 30,780 minus 28.2, nag-increase ka, 2580 gain, letter dog. 2580 gain, letter D or dog. Ayan. Ganyan na siya. So class, pinakita ko lang to, yung entries, hindi mo kailangan yan. Ang kailangan mo lang yung table para dun sa option and yung T account para dun sa hedge item. From there, kayang-kaya mo na isolve yan. Alright? Okay, so para lang mas ma-appreciate nyo, FYI na lang. Okay? Erase ko na to. Pwede ko na i-erase to. Pakita ko lang sa inyo, ha? So, computein natin class yung net cash natin. Net cash. Tama ba? Accounts payable yan. So, babayaran ko to. 14166,780. Tama? Outflow yan kasi buyer ako dito eh. 14,166,780. And then, meron akong option, okay, na 30,780 positive. So, marireceive ko yan from my counterparty plus 30,780. Okay, yung net cash outflow natin, 14166,780 minus 30,780, you get 14,136,000. 14,136,000, i-divide natin by the notional amount, which is 1,140,000 baht. Okay, 14,136 divided by 1,140,000, you get 12.4. 12.4 is, dapat yan yung strike price natin. Ayun, strike price sa problem, 12.4. Kasi, tama, ito talaga yung objective natin. Yan yung gastusin natin pagdating ng January 30. Ayun, so that's your 12.4. Okay, let's go to number 6. Madali lang class pag option, di ba? Table lang, T account. Okay, isa pa. I-erase muna natin. I-retain natin to class para meron tayong reference, no? Yan. Okay, so let's answer problem number 6. On December 1, 2020, Erin Company acquired 4,600 shares of X company at a cost of 28 per share. The company classifies them as available for sale or yun yung fair value through other comprehensive income. On the same date, Erin Company decides to hedge against a possible decline in the value of the securities by purchasing at a cost of 11,900 an at-the-money put option. So again, sa inception, laging at-the-money yan. Pag sinabi mong put option, option to sell. Okay? Option to sell, pag at-the-money, spot price is equal to strike price. Okay, the option expires on April 1. The fair values of the investment and the options follow. Okay, sabi ni Sir, table daw gagawin namin. Number 6, lagay mo dyan yung intrinsic value, the time value, and the fair value. Okay, lagay mo yung dates dito. We have December 1, we have December 31, and we have April 1. Okay, tingnan natin class ha. How much yung binili ni Erin Company dito? Cost niya is 11,900. Yun yung fair value na sa start, 11,900. Got it? Okay. Sabi ni Sir, intrinsic value daw, since put option siya, X minus S. Since at the money siya, S is equal to X at the start. Intrinsic value is always 0 at the start. Therefore, time value yung 11,900. Okay, let's compute the intrinsic value, December 31. X, ano yung X natin? X natin is yung strike price natin. Sir, walang sinabi dyan ah. Oh, tandaan mo na intrinsic value, na yung at the start, at the money ka. X is equal to S. Tama? Kaya 0 yan eh. So, ibig sabihin class, kung ano yung spot price natin nung December 1, yun din yung strike price natin. Therefore, yung X natin dyan is 28. Does that make sense? Okay. Sundan nyo ako ha. X minus S. Okay? Strike price, laging 28 yan. 28 minus S. Ano yung S natin? 26.5. Multiply natin by 4,600 shares. Makukuha mo dyan 6,900. Yan yung intrinsic value natin. Ulitin ko. X minus S, no? X natin is 28. Minus S natin is 26.5, multiply ko by 4,600 shares, 6,900. Binigay yung market value of the put option, 15,400 daw noong December 31, and then noong April 1, 20,700. Okay, balancing figure time value, 15,400 minus 6,900, you get 8,500. Okay. Sabi ni Sir, time value sa end, laging 0. Tignan natin. X minus S, X 28, minus S 23.5, multiply by 4,600, you get 20,700. O yun, balance eh. 0 intrinsic sa start, 0 time value sa end. Okay, so meron ka ng table. T account naman tayo. This one, nag-acquire ka ng shares, no? So, sabihin natin na FVOCI siya. Ayan, FVOCI. How much natin binili yan? 46 times 28 yung cost. 46 times 28. Nakuha mo yung 128,800. Ayan yun. Debit FVOCI, credit cash, 128,800. Okay? Ma-mark to market natin yan every year. So, 4,600 shares, yung market value in December 31, 26.5, tama? You get 121,900. 121,900. Bumaba from 128 naging 121, solve for x minus 128,800. Okay? X natin is 6,900. Bumaba yung FVOCI, therefore loss yan. Tama? And then settlement date, which is April 1, 4,600 shares times 23.5, you get 108,100. Uy, bumaba ulit. From 121 naging 108. X natin is minus 121,900, 13,800. Loss ka ulit. Okay, so loss pareho. FVOCI. Okay, so pwede natin i-solve yung problem. Huwag na tayo mag-journal entries. Alam nyo na yan. Question 1, the gain or loss on option contract due to change in time value. 2020. Okay, so question 1, 2020, 0 naging 69. Tama ba? Due to change in time value on December 31. Time value, ito pala yung time value. 11.9 naging 8.5. Bumaba, 11.9 naging 8.5. Okay, so bumaba siya, 11.9 minus 8.5. 3,400 loss. Ganun lang kasimple. Pag bumaba, loss. Pag tumaas, gain. So letter C. Question number 2. Gain or loss on option contract due to change in intrinsic value. 2021. So ito, 6,900 naging 20,700. 6,900 naging 20,700. Tumaas. So 20,700 minus 6,900. You get 13,800. Gain. Letter D. Dog. Question number 3. The 2021 net gain or loss in the hedging activity. Okay, tingnan natin. So yung item natin ng 2021, meron tayong loss na 13.8. Okay? And then meron tayong sa instrument natin 2021, okay? 15.4 naging 20,700. Okay? 15.4 naging 20,700. Tama ba tumaas? So meron tayong gain na 5.3. 5.3 gain. So ulitin ko sa instrument, which is yung put option natin, tumaas. So gain yan. 13.8 minus 5.3, 8,500 loss. Letter C. Question number 4. The gain or loss on option contract on December 31, 2020. Hindi sinabi kung intrinsic value o time value. Ibig sabihin, fair value yung minimension dito. 11.9 naging 15.4. Tumaas. Okay? Therefore, so 11.9 minus 15.4, 3.5. Tumaas siya. So gain ka dyan. 3.5 gain. Letter boy. 3.5 gain. Okay. Uy, isa na lang for option. Number 7. Okay, number 7. On August 1, Angeli Company forecasted the purchase of 60,000 units of inventory from Thailand company. The purchase would probably occur on November 2 and require the payment of 2,000-3,000 baht. Class, ano tawag natin dyan? Passive, August 1 yan. No? So, pwede kong erase to. Okay, erase ko na muna. Pakita ko lang ha. Okay. So yeah, so August 1. Ayan. And then, sabi dyan, the purchase will probably occur on November 2. August, sabi natin September, October, November 2. Ayan. This is November 2. Ayan. Class, ano tawag dyan? And require the payment of 2,000-3,000 baht. It is anticipated that the inventory could be processed further and delivered to customers by early December. May ina-expect siya na bibili siya dito. Pero walang commitment. Okay. So, punta kayo dun sa lecture natin sa start. Okay. Doon sa start na lecture natin, di ba nakalagay doon yung hedging, yung summary ko ng hedge accounting. Di ba yung mga hedge items tayo, tama? Yung isang hedge item natin, yung una, firm commitment. Okay? Firm commitment ba to? Hindi, kasi wala ka namang commitment dito eh. Ina-expect mo lang na meron kang bibilin dito. Ano tawag doon? Yung second na hedge item natin, highly probable future transaction. Tama? And yung highly probable future transaction, anong klase yung class? Is it fair value hedge or cash flow hedge? Tama ba? So this is yung hedge item natin is highly probable future transaction. Ano yung nilagay ko dyan? Fair value or cash flow hedge? It is a cash flow hedge. Got it? So basahin natin class. Okay. On August 1, the company purchased a call option to buy 2,340,000 baht Okay, at the strike price of one foreign currency is 7.95. Option premium, 8850 was paid. So, encircle mo yan. Changes in the time value, insert time value. Changes in the time value of the option will be excluded from the assessment of hedge effectiveness. Ano ibig sabihin ng class? Yung effective portion, tanda mo, di ba pag cash flow hedge, sabi ko dyan, OCI yan, okay? Ito talaga yung rules dyan, no? Pag option. Yung effective portion, pupunta siya ng OCI. Okay? Ano yung effective? Di ba ito yung intrinsic value? Tama? Ito? Yung ineffective naman class, pupunta siya ng P&L. Okay? Yan yung rule dyan. And then, in this case, sa option, yung ineffective natin is the time value. Okay? Ganyan yung cash flow hedge. Actually, class, yung ibang problems natin before, okay, yung previous problems, puro fair value hedge yan. As you notice, for example, sa problem 6, problem 5, problem 4, lahat yan ang tanong, effects sa earnings or sa P&L. Fair value hedge yun. Tama? Kasi, tignan mo class yung lecture mo natin sa start, no? Di ba nakalagay doon? Pag fair value hedge, i-mark to market natin yung instrument and item, lahat yan sa P&L. Okay? Pag cash flow hedge, mark to market yung instrument, okay? OCI, in this case, pag effective OCI, pag ineffective P&L. And then yung hedge item, normal accounting. Tama? Ito yung cash flow hedge. Kung titignan mo yung problem 6, tingin ka muna sa problem 6 class, ha? Tingnan mo, ha? Okay, basahin natin. Erin Company acquired 46 shares, blah, blah, blah. On the same date, Erin Company decides to hedge against a possible decline in value. So, hine-hedge mo dito, changes in value. Ano yun? That's the fair value hedge. Nakuha mo yun? Okay. Kaya lahat yan, puro P&L. Ngayon, sa problem number 7, meron kang highly probable future transaction. And in this case, yung cash flow mo is still variable. Hindi mo alam kung magkano yung babayad mo pagdating ng November 2 kasi wala ka namang commitment. Okay? That's why nag-qualify siya ng cash flow hedge. Wherein effective portion OCI, ineffective P&L. Okay. So, let's see. Meron tayong spot rates and option values or the fair value. On November 2, the company purchased 60,000 units of inventory at a cost of 2,376. The option was settled or sold on November 2 at its fair value. After incurring further processing cost of 240, the inventory was sold for 29.1. Dami nangyari. Okay? Dami nangyari. So, dagdagan natin ng space. Ito, I think pwede ko na itong erase. Okay, and this one. Erase ko na rin ito. Aha. Mamaya na, swaps. Okay. So, gagawin ko dyan class, no? Let's see. Gagawin ko, dito ko ilalagay yung, dito lang yung table. Diyan yung entries. Okay? Yung table, dito yung entries, dito lang yung table. Dito lang yung table. So, gagawin ko muna, yung table muna natin, intrinsic value, time value, and the fair value. Lagay natin yung dates. August 1, August 31, September 30, and November 2. Okay? August 1, August 31, September 30, and November 2. Okay, next. Class, anong class ito? Call option or put option? Call option nakalagay. Tama? Therefore, intrinsic value is S minus X. What is the strike price? Nakita mo dyan, 7.95. Encircle mo na yan. Okay, lagay natin yung mga fair values muna of the option. 8,850. Okay, 15,690. 34,410. And 46,800. Kompletuhin mo natin yung table. Zero ko na agad yung intrinsic dito. Zero ko na yung time value sa dulo. Okay? Therefore, 8,850 yung time value natin dito. Okay, let's compute yung intrinsic values. August 31. Spot price natin is 7.952 minus strike price of 7.95. Strike natin is 7.95 ha. Okay, take note. Ulitin ko. 7.952 minus 7.95. Multiply natin by 2,340,000. Intrinsic value is 4,680. 4,680, balancing figure natin yung time value. 4,680 minus 15,690, you get 11,010. 11,010. Okay. Intrinsic value, September 30. Spot price, 7.963. Minus strike price, 7.95. Multiply by 2,340,000, you get 30,420. 30,000? Tama ba? 30,420. And then, difference yan, minus 34,410. Time value is 3,990. Okay. And then, sa dulo, 46,800 yung intrinsic value. Kasi 0 yung time value. Okay. So, meron na tayo yan. And then, this one class, wala pa tayong accounts payable kasi hindi pa nangyayari yung transaction. Tama? Dito pa lang tayo sa August 1, mangyayari yung transaction November 2. Alright? So, let's see. Lagay natin yung journal entries. Okay. Dito ko lalagay, ha? Journal entries. And then, dito yung item, dito yung instrument. Item and instrument. Let's say August 1. August 1, sa item wala pa. Okay? And then, we have call option. Bumili tayo. Debit call option. Credit cash. Which is 8,850. Tama? 8,850. Next natin is August 31. Wala pa tayong inventory dyan. Tumaas yung, well, cash flow hedge yan. Yung effect, tumaas na. Tama? 8850 naging 15690. Tingnan natin. 15690 minus 8850. Tumaas yung call option natin ng 6840. Debit call option, 6840. Okay? Now, yung intrinsic value tumaas, naging 4680. So, meron tayong gain. Pero yung intrinsic value na yan is effective portion, pupunta siya ng OCI. That's why, lagay ko dito, gain from call option OCI, 4680. 8850 naging 11010. 8850 minus 11010. 2160. So, meron tayong gain. Lalagay mo sa PNL, 2160. Ito yung complete entry natin. Call option, which is changes in fair value. Intrinsic value, effective portion, OCI siya. Time value, ineffective portion, PNL. Okay, so gawin din natin yung September 30. Okay, September 30, bumili na ba na inventory? Wala pa. Okay, wala pa yan. Okay, 15690, tumaas. 15690, naging 34410. 18720. Debit call option. Okay. Debit call option, 18720. Doon muna tayo sa intrinsic value. 4680 naging 30,420. 4680 minus 30,420. Tumaas siya, 25,740. Credit gain, punta ng OCI, 25,740. So class, nalagay ko lang yung entries agad in the board exam. Di mo kailangan gawin to. Table ka lang, and T-account if possible. Ngayon class, yung time value natin, as you notice, bumaba. So 11,010 minus 3990, may loss ka dyan, 7020. Debit loss, pupunta ng PNL, 7020. Okay? So, yun yung entry mo. So, pwedeng may loss, pwedeng may gain at the same time. Alright? And then last one, from 34,410, this is November 2, 34,410, okay, naging 46,8. So, nag-increase by 12,390. Debit call option, 12,390, okay? So, what intrinsic value mo, tingnan natin, from 34,20, naging 46,8, tumaas, 16,380. So, credit gain, okay, credit gain, OCI, 16,380, okay, 16,380. And then, yung time value natin, bumaba naman class, so may loss ka. Debit loss, PNL, kasi time value yan, ineffective portion, 3,990. Okay? Now, November 2, tama ba class, bumili tayo ng inventory dyan? Kasi sabi sa problem, okay, dun sa middle portion, actually last paragraph, on November 2, the company purchased 60,000 units of inventory at a cost of 2,376,000. Class, ano yung spot rate nung November 2? 7.97, nakita mo? Okay, 2,376,000. Okay, 2,376,000 times spot rate na 7.97. Kasi, di ba, asset yun. So, kung ano yung spot rate, kung ano yung fair value nung date of purchase. Ulitin ko, 2,376,000 baht times 7.97, you should get 18,936,720. Debit inventory, credit accounts payable. Okay, so papagkasyahin natin yan. Dito yung debit inventory, credit accounts payable, 18,936,720. Okay? And then, ano pa nangyari? Marami pa nangyari dyan eh. Okay, the option was settled after incurring further processing costs. Kasi yung further processing costs, alam natin, inventoriable yan. Okay? Actually, sa cost accounting, WIP yan eh. Tama? WIP. So, i-charge natin sa inventory. Debit inventory, credit cash, 240,000. Alright? The inventory was sold for 29.4 million. Debit cash, credit sales, binenta daw for 29.4 million. Okay? Debit cost of goods sold, credit inventory. How much yung inventory natin? 18,936 plus 240,000. 19,176. Okay? 19,176. 720. Alright? Now, kumpletuhin ko na rin. Kulang pa yung instrument natin kasi sinettle mo na, tama? Tama ba class, meron kang asset 46.8. Marireceive mo yan as cash. Debit cash. Okay, debit cash sa instrument. Credit call option. Okay, you have 46,800. Ngayon class, since tapos na yung transaction, lahat na nasa OCI mo, i-charge mo na sa PNL. I-recycle mo na yan, okay? So, ibig sabihin, ano yung nasa OCI natin? Tama ba yung intrinsic value natin? Okay? Yung mga nasa OCI, ito. 4,680, 25,740, and then 16,380. Add nga natin yan. 4,680 plus 25,740 plus 16,380. Uy, 46,800. Ito rin siya. Gagawin ko lang dyan, debit gain OCI, credit gain PNL. Tatanggalin ko sa books yan. Lalagay ko sa income statement. 46,800. Oh, FYI class, ito lahat ng journal entries natin. Let's answer. Question 1, the gain or loss on option contract that would affect earnings on August 31. August 31, earnings daw, tama? Pag sinabing earnings, PNL, ineffective portion, therefore time value. So question 1 natin, time value natin class from 8,850 naging 11,010. Therefore, so 8,850 minus 11,010, 2,160. So meron kang 2,160 gain. Letter C. Question number 2, the gain or loss on option contract on September 30 presented as OCI. So take note class, OCI yung tanong natin. Tanong dyan. Di sabihin, it's a balance sheet item. Pag ganyan, as off balance yung sasagot mo. Tama ba kasi yung OCI natin is intrinsic value? Tama? So ang magiging comparison ko, 0, September 30 doon. Tama? And then 30,420. 0 natin, naging 30,420. Answer natin is 30,420 na gain. Letter C. Kasi OCI, dapat as off balance yan. Question number 3, the gain or loss on option contract that would affect earnings. Pag earnings naman class, monthly yung comparison mo. Okay, P&L. November 2, kung earnings yan, time value. Okay, 3,990, naging 0. Ito. Therefore, bumaba. 3,990 loss. Answer natin class is letter boy. And last one, question number 4, kaya ako nag-journalize. Ang tanong kasi dyan class, effect daw sa net income. Alright? So, tingnan natin. Effect sa net income, pwede ko nang erase to. So, yun na yung last problem natin sa option. Okay, net income, meron tayong sales. Nasaan yung sales natin? 29.4 million. Meron tayong cost of goods sold na 19,176. 720. What else? So, meron tayong OCI natin. Okay. Nireclassify natin to P&L, 46.8. So, that's a credit. Okay, meron tayong gain. OCI, na ginawa natin P&L, 46.8, so that's positive. May effect sa net income kasi P&L na siya. And then lahat ng gain natin na P&L. Ito. Encircle ko 2,160. May loss tayo na 7,020. May gain tayo, may loss tayo na 3,990. Computing nga natin yung class. Okay, 2,160 na gain. May loss tayo na 7,020. Meron tayong loss na 3,990. Na-compute mo yung 8,850. 8,850 is actually your time value. Tama? Kasi buong time value, punta ng P&L yan. Lagay ko lang time value. Time value, loss yan, so 8,850. Okay, compute natin. 29.4 million sales minus cost of sales 19,176, 720. Add natin yung gain sa OCI na nireclassify natin. Reclassification to Baka sabihin mo, sir, OCI yan Bakit nilagay mo sa income statement? Ito siya, yung na-reclassify tayo. Plus 46.8 minus yung time value 8,850. Answer natin dito class is 10,261,230. Net income, letter C. Letter C. 10,261,230. Dito ka magkakamali. Baka hindi mo isama yung reclassification. Okay? Tandaan mo, pag binenta na, tapos na yung transaction. Pwede mo tanggalin sa books lahat ng related sa call option. Ayan. Alright, so this is number 7. Last one na class. Tapos na tayo dito sa derivatives. Okay, problem number 8. Actually, swap yung number 8. Erase ko na to. Yung swap is very simple. No? Actually, tingin ko, kung may mailalagay mo sa boards, ito na yung possible na ilagay. So, analyze natin yung transaction for swaps. Okay. So, class, again, yung swap natin can be fixed to floating and floating to fixed. So, gato yan. Lagay natin. Swaps, dalawa yan. Fixed to floating, floating to fixed. Okay? Ngayon, kapag fixed to floating ka, pwede ko na i-erase to. Pag fixed to floating ka, na-erase ko na rin to. Para hindi nakakalito. Okay. Gusto mo i-convert yung fixed rate into floating rate. Tama? Ibig sabihin, ang ini-expect mo class is yung interest rate in the future, gusto mong floating, di ba? Ni-expect mo bababa. Ngayon, kapag naka-floating rate ka naman, gusto mo i-convert into fixed. Ni-expect mo natataas yung rate mo. Okay? That's why sa swap, literally nag-swap ka ng cash flows with counterparty. Okay? Pwede mo tingnan yung swaps as series of forward contracts. Okay? Ibig sabihin, every interest payment date, parang forward contract yun. May obligation kayong dalawa magbayaran. Alright? So, tingnan natin. Number 8, on January 2, 2020, Y company received a 2-year 5 million loan. May loan si Y, which calls for payments to be made at the end of each year based on the prevailing rate at January 1. Ano yung class? Fixed or floating? Floating rate yan si Y kasi yung babayaran doon niya na interest depende sa market rate. Gets? Okay. So, tanda mo si Y floating siya. Lagay ko dito. Y floating. Yung original, no? Original. Si X naman, tingnan natin. Another company, X, also has a 2-year 5 million loan. X's loan carries a fixed rate of 10%. So, fixed rate naman, si X. Y company does not want to bear the interest rate that interest rates may increase. Floating si Y, tama? Ina-expect niya mag-i-increase. X company believes that the rate may decrease. Since si X fixed, ina-expect niya mag-decrease yung rate. So, magkaiba sila ng outlook sa interest rate, tama? And then it would prefer to have variable debt. So magkaiba sila ng outlook, nag-swap sila ngayon. Through an intermediary, the two companies enter into an interest rate swap whether X agrees to make Y interest payment in 2021 and Y agrees to make X interest payment in 2021. Ganito nangyari dyan, class. Ito si X, ito si Y. Okay? Originally, fix yung binabayad ni X. Nakipag-swap siya ng cash flows kay Y. Ang gusto nang ibayad ni X is variable or floating. Ito, variable. Ngayon, si Y, originally floating siya. Gusto niya na fix ang babayaran niya at 10%. Got it? Yan yung swap ng tinatawag. Okay, so let's see. Tingnan natin, class. Question number 1, from the point of view of Y, how should the hedging activity be classified? Tandaan mo, class, ang basis mo kung fair value hedge siya or cash flow hedge, yung original. Tandaan mo yan, ha? Ngayon, floating yung or variable yung cash flows ni Y. Di ba pag variable, cash flow hedge yun? Tama? So yung question number 1 na yan, sa point of view ni Y, cash flow hedge yan. Kasi floating. Variable pa yung cash flows mo. Si X naman, fair value hedge kasi fixed na yung cash flows. Got it? So yung number 2, fair value hedge yan. So 1 is cash flow hedge, 2 is fair value hedge. Okay, ganito nangyari dyan, class. Number 3, if the interest rate is 8% o iyan yung floating rate, what amount would Y receive or pay from 2X? Sino magbabayad sa dalawa? Okay? So obviously, since 8% yung naging rate, ang panalo dito, si X. Kasi 8 lang babayaran niya kay Y, 10 babayaran sa kanya ni Y. Panalo sa X dito, tama? So, compute natin. Ano yung principal natin? 5 million times difference ng rate, 10% minus 8% is equal to, so 5 million times 0.02, 100,000. Actually, sagot dito, class, si Y pays X, okay, 100,000. Y pays X, 100,000. Yan yung sagot natin, okay? Now, to be more technical, yan yung sagot, ha? I-expound ko lang, class, yung discussion. Si X, ang tawag sa kanya, okay, receive fixed, pay variable or pay floating. Yan yung pangalan ng interest rate swap niya. Okay? Receive fixed, pay variable. Receive fixed, pay variable. Si Y naman, okay, ang tawag naman sa interest rate swap niya is receive variable, pay fixed. Okay? Pay fixed. Ayan, yung term ni, yun naman si Y. Okay? In this case, 8% panalo si X. Now, next year, yung rate na yan, pwede mag-iba yan. Pag naging 12% yan, for example lang, ha, panalo naman si Y. Si X naman yung magbabayad kay Y ng 100,000. Gets? Okay. So, ganyan siya. Now, pakita ko na rin yung entries. Journal entries in the books of X. Ganito yung class. First entry, nag-loan sila. Tama? 5 million. Galing sa bangko. Debit cash, credit loans payable, 5 million. Same entry kay Y. Debit cash, credit loans payable, 5 million. Okay? Next entry, babayaran muna nila yung original na term. Si X, ang original niya, fixed rate na 10%. Tama? 10% ng 5 million is debit interest expense, credit cash, 500,000. Babayaran niya sa bangko yan. Got it? Si Y naman, 8%. 8% ng 5 million is 400,000. Babayaran niya sa bangko. Debit interest expense, credit cash, 400,000. Okay? Walang pakialam si bank. Basta kay bank, sa point of view niya, makaka-receive siya kay X ng 500, kay Y naman 400. Ito, usapan ni X and Y yan. Okay? So, ang mangyayari dyan, number 3, okay? So, pag na-receive ni number 3, merong gain si X. Tama? Meron siyang gain. Okay? Actually, pwede mong sabihin na debit swap receivable or basta derivative asset siya. Okay? Lagyan na natin derivative asset, credit gain, 100,000. Si Y naman, lugi siya, debit loss, credit derivative liability, or sabihin natin swap payable. Okay? 100,000. Now, pagbabayaran na ni Y si X, okay? Ang entry ni X, debit cash, credit derivative asset, kasi receivable yan, 100,000. Si Y naman, pag nagbayad siya, debit derivative liability, credit cash, 100,000. So, class, ano napansin nyo dito? Obviously, yung net cash ni X is, nagbayad siya ng 500, okay? And then, naka-receive siya ng 100. So, yung net ni X is 400,000, which is 400,000, pag dinivide mo yan sa 5 million, that is 8%. Tama? Yun yung floating rate. Yung binayad niya. Pero yung interest expense ni X is still 500,000. Wala ka namang interest expense dito, ha? Nakuha mo yun? So, interest expense niya 500, pero yung net cash niya is 400. Tama? Si Y naman, yung interest expense niya is 400, pero yung net cash niya na binayad is, meron siyang 400 dito, and then 100, that is 500,000. 500,000, pag dinivide mo yan sa 5 million, that is 10%, which is the fixed rate. Ayan, binayad ni Y, nag-net siya ng 10%, si X naman, ang net niya is 8%. Pero yung expense nila, kung ano yung original. Tama? Kasi si bangko yung kausap nila dito, eh. Walang pakialam si bangko sa usapan nyo. Tama? Ganun yan. So, ayan. So, sa number 3, ito yung answer natin. Y pays X 100,000. So, number 8. Pag nag-gets mo yung swap na yan, yung ginawa ko illustration, okay ka sa swap. Yun lang yung kailangan mo tandaan dyan. Let's finish this by answering our theory questions. Last one pala, class, no? Last one. Last na talaga. Para lang di ka malito, sakaling ma-encounter mo to. Okay. Sabi ko kanina, class, meron tayong 3 types of hedging. Okay? Meron tayong tinatawag na, saan na yan? Ayan. Di ba meron tayong fair value hedge? Tama. Cash flow hedge. Paano dito, class? Pag fair value hedge, yung item and instrument mark to market, P&L. Pag cash flow hedge, yung instrument mark to market, OCI. Tama? So, lagi ko dito. So, yung instrument mark to market, OCI. Okay. Meron pa tayong pangatlong hedge, no? Types of hedges. Tatlo yan talaga. Pero yung pangatlo, theory na lang yan. Okay? Hindi siya usually tinatanong sa boards. Pero sasabihin ko na rin. Yung pangatlo, ang tawag is hedge of a net investment. Hedge of a net investment in foreign operation. Okay? So, explain ko, mabilis lang. Hedge of a net investment, may investment ka na foreign operation located abroad. I'll give you an example. For example, si Jollibee. Jollibee Foods Corporation. Nasa Philippines siya. No? Ito yung parent company. Ngayon, let's say, si Jollibee meron siyang subsidiary na located in Hong Kong. Okay? So, ito yung sub. Okay? Si JFC na nasa Hong Kong, iyon yung net investment in a foreign operation. Okay? Let's say, si JFC na nasa Philippines, si parent, nagpa-loan kay Jollibee. Gagamitin niya sa operations niya. Kulang siya ng pera, nagpa-loan sa kanya si parent. Ngayon, si Jollibee, Hong Kong, magbabayad ng interest sa kanya. Interest expense. Pero yung interest expense na yan, since nasa Hong Kong yan, denominated in Hong Kong dollars. Tama? Ngayon, alam natin, since Hong Kong dollars yan, si Jollibee Philippines exposed siya sa foreign exchange risk. Okay? Ito, pwede niyang i-hedge to using forward contracts o kaya swaps, pwede yan. So, yung illustration natin na to, class, ito yung hedge. Pwede mong i-hedge yan. Ito yung illustration natin yan, yung net investment, which is si Jollibee, in foreign operation dahil nasa ibang bansa siya. Pwede mong i-hedge yung transaction na yan by using forwards or swaps. Okay? Ganun yung ibig sabihin yan. Hedge of a net investment in foreign operation. Now, ano yung accounting treatment dyan? Same as cash flow hedge. Tandaan mo lang yan. Same as cash flow hedge. Ibig sabihin, yung instrument, mark to market, i-present natin sa OCI, yung item, normal accounting. Ulitin ko, cash flow hedge and hedge of a net investment in foreign operation, same accounting treatment. Pero ito theory na lang yan. Yan tinatanong sa board exam. Okay? Let's go to the theories. Number 1, it is a financial instrument that derives its value from an underlying share price, exchange rate, interest rate, letter A, derivative. Number 2, the basic purpose of derivative financial instruments to manage some kind of risk. Except currency, fluctuation, yes, in yung forex. Interest rate, yes, interest rate risk. Stock price, yes, price risk. Uncollectibility of AR, no. Dog for number 2. All of the following are characteristics of a derivative except it is settled the future date, yes. Requires no initial investment. Well, para sa forwards and futures and swaps, walang initial investment yan. Initial small investment para yan sa options. Correct din yan. C, its value changes in response to the underlying, yes. It is acquired for the purpose of generating profit, false. Okay? Hindi generating profit. Ang purpose ng derivatives is risk management. Okay? Dog for number 3. Actually, pag generating profits, ang term mo dyan is speculation. Okay? Speculation yan. Number 4, entities that attempt to exploit inefficiencies in various derivative markets by attempting to lock in profits by simultaneously entering into transactions in 2 or more markets. So, FYI na lang to, hindi natin masyadong i-discuss. Pero basically, class, may term dyan, arbitrageurs. Okay, letter A. Pag in-exploit mo inefficiencies. Okay, for example, call option sa ganitong country, 100 pesos. Sa ganitong country, 120. Pero magkamukha lang naman yung nature nila. Ayun, merong inefficiencies doon. Okay? Huwag natin na-discuss yun, but basically arbitrageurs yun. A. Any financial or physical variable that has either observable changes, ang tawag natin doon is underlying, letter D. Number 6, which of the following is an underlying? Credit rating, security price, average daily temperature. Actually, lahat yan pwedeng mag-underlying. Okay? Yung daily temperature, meron tayong mga tinatawag na complex derivatives. Di natin di-discuss yan, para di nakakalito. But maraming pwedeng underlying. Kahit yung climate, pwede rin yan. Lahat pwedeng underlying. Dog for number 6. Number 7, an example of a notional amount. Pag notional amount, yun yung principal. A, currency swap. Currency swap is a derivative. Interest rate is an underlying. Number of barrels of oil, that's a notional amount. C. Stock price is an underlying. C for number 7. Which of the following instruments is not considered a derivative? Currency futures, pwede. Option, pwede. Bank certificate of deposit, nope. Swap, yes. Letter C for number 8. Number 9, it is a commitment to purchase specified commodity on a future date through a futures exchange market, BOI futures contract. Number 10, a call option is Dog tayo dyan. Recognized and classified as current asset. FBPL. Tama? Boy. Number 11, which of the following provides the holder the right to sell? Right to sell is a put option. Sulat ba natin yan? Ayun. Right to sell. Put option, letter B or boy. Number 12, which is incorrect concerning an option. A call option is the right to purchase. Yes, right to buy. Put option is the right to sell. Yes. C, an option is a right but not an obligation. Tama. Kaya lang, babayad ka ng premium. Dog, an option requires no initial payment. False. May premium yan. Dog for number 12. It is an agreement whereby one party will receive a swap payment from another party if the interest rate is more than the underlying rate and will make a swap payment to other party if the interest rate is lower than the underlying interest rate. Actually, sagot dito class is boy. Okay? Receive variable and pay fixed. Okay? For example daw class, yung variable natin is 12%. Okay? Yung fixed natin is 10%. Obviously, mas mataas yung 12% sa 10%. In this case, yung another party will receive a swap payment. Okay? And then, pag naman the other way around, magbabayad naman so receive 12%, okay? Pay 10%. Ganun siya. Kaya receive variable, pay fixed, letter boy. Number 14, a derivative may be, answer is dog, either an asset or a liability. Okay? Pwede siyang derivative asset, pwede derivative liability. Derivatives are measured at, since FVPL yan, fair value through profit or loss. A, fair value. 16, changes in fair value that is determined to be an effective cash flow hedge. Pag effective, OCI. Okay? B, recognized directly in equity, letter B or boy. Okay? So kasi medyo mahaba discussion sa derivatives, no? Kasi sinasadya ko talaga na pag medyo complicated yung topic, mas comprehensive yung discussion natin. Alright? So that's it for derivatives. Dismissed.